Yeah, I mean, the balance of everything has to be just right. You know, the cell is a microenvironment that's really, really complex. It's amazingly complex. And the chemistry, you know, has to be just right for a cell to function. You know, you mess with it very much, things break down. That kind of interdependence can't be explained by molecular interactions. It has to be designed. The number of the design inference between different chemical processes in the cell, so many thousands and thousands of them, imply design. It's all a system that's working together, and everything has to have been designed to work together. The interdependencies between the proteins in the cell is unfathomable. It's astonishing. You know, I've said this many times. Scientists tried to research the p53 protein, just this one, that's known to have a lot of different functions in the cell. And these researchers, part of the Human Genome Project, they created a separate project to study this. And they studied it, and they came up to the conclusion that it seems infinitely complex. They tried to map it, so with, you know, dialog boxes and drawing lines between one and the other. And they said, okay, this protein interacts, p53 interacts with these 7 over here, and these 7 interact with those 20. But those 20 are necessary to interact with these 50, and some of those 50 interact with these 10, and these 10 interact with the p53 again. Wait, didn't we just run a circle? You know, and the complexity of these circles of interdependencies between the one p53 protein and all these things going on in the cell was so great, they threw their hands up and said, we can't even map one. We're not even able to map all the interactions of just the p53 protein with all these other genes and their products. How in the world, you see, with all the products of the cell going on in the cell and the genetic information in relation to it, how can that kind of complexity and interdependence arise? It's all perfectly designed to be just what it is. You mess with any part of it and you screw the whole thing up. And they couldn't even map all the interactions of one protein. There are an estimated 200 to 250,000 different proteins in a cell. Wow, that's a lot. Now imagine if they studied all the others and they found the same thing. That's what the information implies. So how in the world can natural, unintelligent, unguided processes create such overlayering complexities and interdependencies between so many thousands of different molecules between each other and groups of each other that all relate to each other? The complexity is mind-bending. To believe that that can arise because molecules can bump into each other, you've got to be kidding me. It's ridiculous. Evolutionism is a joke. Modern science has revealed the evolution theory is not just not true, it's absolutely hilarious. It's a joke. It's the worst kind of joke ever played on mankind. But you have to be willing to accept with the data, what it says, to be able to see that. Then you realize what a ridiculous concocted bunch of BS garbage this evolution theory is. It doesn't comport to the slightest thing relating to man's modern knowledge of biology. Nothing. I'll be back in about 60 seconds, Remy. Appreciate you jumping in.